Okay, today we're going to be talking about algebraic expressions, and we have some definitions to look at. The first definition is what a variable is. And a variable is just a letter that represents a number. The most common one we use in algebra is x. Another one is y, z, and any letter can be a variable there. The next one is constant, and a constant is a number. 5 is a constant. -2 is a constant. 1/2 is a constant. Constants do not change. That's why they're constants. 5 means 5. Whereas a variable can represent different numbers. Sometimes x can be equal to 5. Sometimes x can be equal to 10. It varies. That's why it's called a variable. Now that leads us to our next definition, which is term. And a term is a constant, such as 5, a variable such as x, or the product, which means the multiplication of a constant and a variable, such as 5x. And terms are put together by multiplication. That's why it says they're the product. So anytime they're all put together, that's going to be a term. Another example of a term would be -2x, y, z. That's all put together by multiplication, so it's all one term. Note here it says terms are separated by plus and minus signs. So if I gave you the expression 5x minus 2xyz, that would be two separate terms because they're separated by a minus sign. And another definition I want to go over is the definition for a numerical coefficient. Scroll up on that. There we go. All right. Numerical coefficient is the number part of a term. So if we have the term 3x, the numerical coefficient is 3. It's just the number in front of the variable or variables. If we have the term 2xy, the coefficient is 2. If we have something as negative ab, the coefficient is -1. There's really a -1 there, even though it's not written there. But it's understood that there's really a 1 there, so the coefficient would be -1. Another example would be if I had the term 3xy over 2. That is another way to write 3/2 xy. You can put the variables in the numerator with the 3, or you can put it out to the side here. And it's the same as 3/2 xy. So the coefficient in this one is really 3/2. Okay, all these definitions are leading up to the final definition that we're going to go over, which is an algebraic expression. Okay, and an algebraic expression is made up of terms, as we've looked at before. So let's say we had 5a minus 6b. Again, that's an algebraic expression, and it's made up of two terms. Where it says terms combined with operations of arithmetic, that just means terms combined with addition and subtraction. Let's look at another example here. If we had 3x minus 4y plus 16 rs fifths, that would have 1, 2, 3 terms there. Remember that 16 rs over 5 is all one term. In fact, another way to write this would be 16 fifths rs. So that's all put together by multiplication. So it's one term. -4y, don't forget to take the sign in front of the variable, and then 3x is another term. Now let's use all these definitions to look at an example here. On example 1, we have the algebraic expression 15ab minus 2c plus 7abc over 5. How many terms are there? Let's see, we have 1, 2, and all this, remember, is one term, so that would be 3 terms. And then I ask you, what is the coefficient of the second term? Well, here's the second term, and it's the number in front of the letter. But don't forget that you have to look at the sign in front. So it's not just 2 for the coefficient, it's actually -2. The coefficient of the third term, that's another way of writing 7/5. fifths A, B, C. So the coefficient would be 7 fifths. And then the coefficient of the first term would be 15. That's an easy one. All right, then I asked you about the word factors. Remember, factors are what you multiply together. So factors make up a term, and terms make up an algebraic expression. So what are the factors of the third term? Well, the third term is 7 fifths A, B, C. So the factors are 7 fifths, okay, A, B, and C. And then the last question, it says what factors are common to both, let me go back up here. Here we go. What factors are common to the first and third terms? Well, if you look up at the first and third terms, they both have, let's see what they both have in common. Okay, let's see. Here's the first term, 15 A, B, and the third term is 7 fifths A, B, C. So they both have the factors A and B in common. Yeah, there we go. So the answer to that would be A and B. Those are the common factors right there. All right, and that's it. Stop there.
Send this to you so you could look at it before you came next week, so you would have a chance to understand what we're going to be doing. This first screen that you see here is the Camtasia Studio page, and the only thing that you really have to know about this page is that we're going to come over here and we're going to use this drop down menu to record the screen, which I've already done that because you're able to see my mouse move. But this is the only thing that you're going to have to worry about, because all this stuff over here is what I'm going to be doing to edit your video once you finish making it. So this is the only thing that you need to see. So when you click down on this and you choose record the screen, it's going to give you a tiny little box down here. And there's also going to be, see this little box right here, this pops up, and this little button record, that's where you're going to click record to start your session, and you'll have 3 seconds before it starts. And there are hotkeys. F10, I believe, stops the recording, and I think you can do F9 to start it. So if you don't want to use the hotkeys, you can just use this button. So I've brought up the Word Perfect screen down here. You can see I have the icon here. Anytime that you're going to record anything, you want to go ahead and have your document open in the screen so it's easy to get to. I'm using a Logitech headset and a bamboo tablet. So I'm going to click on this Word Perfect icon, and you can see I have my documents here. I'm going to choose this one. Now, in order to use the pen tablet in Word, you have to go up here to Review and click on Review. And by the way, as I'm moving my mouse, this is not my mouse, this is my actual pen. You're actually using the tablet as a mouse. So what I'm doing is I'm going to click on Review, then I'm going to come over here to Start Inking, press Inking, and then when I come down here, I can start writing on the screen. And now I'm going to take my pen, if you can see this little red dot moving, I'm going to move over here and I'm going to use the mouse to pull the screen down a little bit. But see, now you can look at each different examples and you can start explaining to your students how to do something. So if I wanted to write this out, I could do 4x equals 160, draw a line under each of these, 4, 4, cross the 4's out, x equals 40. And then you could go in and explain, how they do that. Now I have to fix this, but when I want to finish and go to the next concept, I can come over here to where it says delete all ink and press that, and it deletes everything and it restores my document back to where it was. Now I have everything saved on a PDF. This is in Word. This is so you can use it to write with. And if you want to highlight something, for instance, you can come over here to highlighter, and it's not going to work. Let me go back. Let me just get out of it. Oh, I hate this one. Doesn't work. This happened to me a minute ago. As you can see, I'm playing with it myself. Review. Let's go back to Review. Start Inking. It's going to keep that. Anyways, you can click on highlighter and it'll actually let you highlight this just like you're using a yellow highlighter. And I think you have to choose that option first. And I think there are options here. But you can change your colors. If I wanted to change to blue, then I'd be writing with blue. If I wanted to change to green, I'd have green. It's cool, isn't it? Let's see. Purple. Then again, I can come over here. Oh, and now the highlighter is open. I can click highlighter. Look at that. I can highlight something. So if you want to highlight something and make it a point, you can do that. But I'm going to delete all the ink and restore the document back to the way it was. And then when you're finished, you can come down here to the taskbar and click on that, and it'll bring up your little box. Now you can hit pause or stop if you want to. It says I've been talking for 4 minutes and 28 seconds. I think that's pretty much it. You just have to come over here and start practicing writing, because that's the hardest part.